Hello friends, this is our fourth lecture on Mathew Arnold's The Study of Poetry. So we saw in the last class that poetry has got a high destiny. The future of poetry is immense. And so he says, if you consider that poetry has high destiny, poetry is higher knowledge, as Aristotle says, then you cannot admit charlatanism. Charlatanism, yesterday we saw, means a confusion. A confusion that is created on the mind, or you can say it weakens your mind, and you are unable to distinguish the excellent from the inferior. Therefore, what will happen is, you will fall into, your judgment will be full of errors. So erroneous judgments, that is the problem. It's not that if you are a child and if you are suffering from that psychological problem, why should we bother? But in the study of poetry, it's a problem, because you will be making mistaken judgments. Okay. So today you have got a fourth lecture. We say, what is the real estimate? What is meant by the real estimate? The real estimate, later you will see, as in T.S. Eliot, as very often I say, honest criticism and sensible appreciation are directed not upon the poet but upon the poet. Once again, honest criticism and sensible appreciation are directed not upon the poet but upon the poetry. But upon the poetry. Yes. You understand, I suppose. So that is real estimate. That is the real estimate. Not we should bother much about biography or the environment or the ambience or the situation that he lived or his parents, biographical criticism and so on. These are unimportant. What's important is the work of art. You take the work of art and then you study. As you are going to see in Northrop Frye's archetypal criticism again. See, they are not there. The stress is not at all on the biography of the author or the parents or the year or the period and so on. It's a kind of the literature is an outcome of certain things that exist in the unconscious, the collective unconscious of human race. We will discuss it later, but just I wanted to tell you, in detail we will discuss it, but just I now wanted to tell you that what is important is the work of art. I think that now that is clear to you. Alright, so what should govern the true estimate of poetry? How should you be governed? How should you be controlled? What will be your approach? You should approach with a sense of the best. Look out for the best. With a sense of the really excellent. Look out for the excellent, not the mediocre. With a sense of the strength and joy to be drawn from poetry. So what do you get out of it? The joy. See that? The strength and the joy that you are going to get. So three things. One, you be the best. Two, the really excellent. Three, what you are going to derive from it. Understand? These are, if not watchful, suppose you are not watchful, then what will happen? So today's point number one is, how should we approach a work of art? That is three. One, sense of the excellent, best, sense of the really excellent, and sense of the strength and joy to be drawn from poetry. And now we are coming to, if not watchful, suppose you are not careful. Suppose you are an amateur. You are an amateur. Suppose you are in a willy-nilly way you approach a work of art. What can happen? Mathew Arnold points out there are two possibilities. One is historical fallacy, the other is personal fallacy. Personal fallacy anybody can understand. That means your personal considerations. For example, some people like Keats because he is very sensuous. Some people like Wordsworth because he is the poet of nature. He is the prophet of nature, high priest of nature. So why don't I like him? You think that. That is personal consideration. Or some people like Donne because the way that he is presenting this conceit. These are not personal considerations. You can see in the films, some people go 5 times, 6 times, 7 times if Shah Rukh Khan is acting in a film. Some, in my younger days, my younger days means now I am not very old, but my younger days, that is, let's say about 60s, 70s and so on, we used to be enamored by, not we, all the people, by heroes like, at that time it was 70s, between 70s and 80s, Rajesh Khanna. Yes. I think some of my friends went to see that film, the Arafana, yes. Mere Sapnam Ki Rani, that song, So for that, they used to go to the theatre. Or some may be heroines, worshippers of Hema Malini. Or they have at those days, you have worship, and people used to worship students, that is, another person was very famous those days and very popular, that is Mumtaz. And even before that, if there were films by Meena Kumari, now she is dead, she had tragic death. At the age of 40 she died. So Meena Kumari, we would go for that. There were months and months, I still remember. Personal concentration. There's a film, Meena Kumari and Guru Dutt. Not Guru Dutt, but Sunil Dutt. So, there is personal concentration. I like a particular hero and therefore I like a particular heroine and therefore I. So there is personal concentration. Or I like sensuous poetry, so there is skits. I like rhythmic poetry and therefore I like tragedy and therefore I go to, I read Marlowe. It's like that, bombastic language. Alright, so this is that. That's very simple. Personal fallacy is very simple. You can understand, you can easily explain. But historically, how a poet or his poetry helped. Sometimes it's very difficult to find out. Because at certain time, the history of poetry, literature and language, some people might have made great contribution. Like as I told you yesterday about Chaucer. Chaucer not only chose the London tongue because it alone was living, but also he graced it, endowed it with all the graces that he imbibed from the developed Italian and French literature. So he is known as the father of English poetry, English drama, English short story, his characterization, power of characterization, his rhyme schemes, everything. But now what happens is, it was at that time. But when you compare the whole, the history from top to bottom, then you will see that his place is not as important as that of Shakespeare. In literature, world literature, it is not at all as important as Homer or Dante. In English literature, for some unknown reason, Mathew Arnold gives too much praise, showers too much praise on exaggerated language, you can say he is using on Milton. Because as you can see later, our T.S. Eliot used to know who would read Milton, he asked. Who would read The Fairy Queen by Spenser? That's what his attitude. Of course, we know that it is not, Milton was not as great a poet as Shakespeare or Homer. But Mathew Arnold, he puts Milton in that group of great, in the Hall of Fame, you can say. In the Hall of Fame of the classic poets. But that's okay, we will not quarrel with Mathew Arnold on this issue. Alright, he is a great poet, he is an epic poet. Alright, we agree to that. So here what happens is this historical fallacy. If you consider Chaucer as great a poet as Homer or Dante or Shakespeare, then that is historical fallacy. Now the French you can see now, the French. Historical fallacy, what happens is that you use quite exaggerated language and also you overrate the importance. We are not saying that Chaucer is an unimportant author, no, not at all. See, but not as great. Understand? That's it. So he says, now this is quite natural. Some things are sometimes, some pieces are sometimes very conspicuous, but now obscure. They are temporary. They are not timeless. They are ephemeral. For example, I tell you, see, Hindi songs, it's very easy for you. Jo Vada Kiya Hai. Then compare the other one, Mere Sappanam Ki Vani. Now, Jo Vada Kiya Hai, even if you listen to that now, you will stop. If you are driving the car, you will stop. If you are running a race, you will stop. So it is such so attractive it is. The tune, the play, the words, the acting, everything is so perfect and classic. But when you say, Mere Sappanam Ki Rani, I don't think now anybody sings that. See, it's my... then I'm just a little worried because because of my personal prejudice. You ask your friends, they will tell you. Mere Sappanam Ki Rani aayegi tu. What is it? What is it? But the other one is something universal. Isn't it? Jo vada kiya ho, nibhana padega. Look at that. So this is applicable to everyone. If you make a promise, you are supposed to fulfill. See the difference. I'm just giving you just an example because it's easy for you to follow it. The first one is timeless, no doubt. You ask your friends or your teachers and see what is their opinion. If my opinion is wrong, I withdraw. I will apologize in advance. Is that all right? Yes. And now what happens is that some of these, but remember at the time when Aradhana was in the height of its popularity, everywhere you will find the streets, people singing like this. Cycling, going to college, going to market, Mere Sappanam, I get like that. So, but now rarely people do that. But the other one is not like that. That is. Okay, so that is excellent research. So what I am trying to tell you is some songs are very conspicuous at a certain time or period. And after some time it will simply disappear, becomes obscure. Fairy King, for example. Does anybody read Fairy King these days? I don't know. Not that it's not a great poet, it's a great poet. But it's right. But the French is an example. Attitude of the French. The French, they are diligent students of their own early poets. They are sorry that they neglected it. Which they actually they neglected the early poets, the French. And then what happened is, considered to be classical poetry. See that? But now many of them are dissatisfied. When they are studying seriously the early French poetry, now they are, once upon a time it was poetry which was considered as classical, now they are dissatisfied. Dissatisfied with it. See that? And many of them dissatisfied with their so-called classical poetry. That's the court tragedy of the 17th century. Their classical poetry is the court tragedy of the 17th century. You know a great author, the lawyer, Paul Pellisson, Frenchman, Paul Pellisson. Paul Pellisson, see, an author and a lawyer. What his words I shall quote for you. He says, "Want of true poetic stamp. The early court tragedy, the 17th century court tragedy, is once upon a time which was considered as a classic. So want of true poetic stamp. One means like, want of true poetic stamp. Want of true poetic stamp means It's not poetry, he says. Lacking quality. Sterile and bombastic politeness. Sterile and bombastic politeness. In the court tragedies which the French once considered as the classic, as if it had been the perfection of court classical poetry, as if it had been the perfection of classical poetry. So this is about the French literature that they neglected, which they considered a classical. Prof says, one of true poetic style, lacking, not poetic style, sterile, dull, and bombastic, high-sounding politeness, as if it had been the perfection of classical poetry. So the French thought that if you use bombastic language, if you use, even if it is sterile, they thought that this is the perfection of classical poetry. So what should we do? What should be our focus? First we saw what should be our attitude, what should govern us. And now we see there are two possible fallacies, one is historical and the other personal. And historically we have seen sometimes we misunderstand, misjudge. Somebody has done something great, so he is the way. You have to change. So what should be our focus? The focus should be, what should be the focus? Focus should be the reality of a poet's classic character. You should look for the reality of a poet's classic character. That's it. Look for the classic character, the real. Understand? Then, if you find that, if you are in doubt, sift it. Sift means you distinguish, differentiate. If dubious, he says, if dubious means if you are in doubt, sift it. This is what you should. If dubious. If false, very serious. If you find it is false, a false, if he is not classic but only pretending, then explore him. That is what he says. Explore. So then explore. If he is false. If he is a duplicate. If he is a duplicate. If it is classic, the class of the very best, feel, enjoy and appreciate. If classic, the class of the very best, what should you do? You should feel, enjoy, you feel it. See, you feel it, you enjoy it, and you appreciate it. And appreciate. So that is what you have to do. Look for the best. Look for the really best. Look for the best of the best. Then you enjoy. Listen. And see the difference. Compare it with the less perfect. Compare it with the less classic. So that is what you should see. Study of poetry. Your focus should be on this. Understand? If you do this, then that is salutary. What is the benefit that you do? What do you get out of it if you do this? Look for the really brilliance. If you are in doubt, sift it. Not swift, but sift, S-I-F-T. Difference, show the difference. If it is false, explore. There is absolutely no compromise. If it is the best, the classic, then you enjoy, you feel, and then you appreciate. So he says, he says, salutary. This is salutary. That is, this will save you. So to say, salutary. This is formative. What? This is formative. That is the best. Feel, appreciate, and enjoying the best. This is formative. And then, this is the great benefit that you derive from the study of poetry. So this is the great benefit. This is the great benefit that you derive from the study of poetry. Understand? So, what happens is that you go, you deviate. Very often you deviate. What are the possible deviations when you study poetry? I hope you are following. One, I told you about what should govern you. Secondly, I told you about two possible fallacies. Historic, and not I, but I am just explaining these things to you, that is historic and personal. Personal is easy to understand. Historic means you are giving undue importance to certain persons at certain periods of your growth of the literature and language, as in the case of Chaucer. You agree or not, I don't know. Now you took then next one you took the example of the French. The French neglected their early poetry, but now they are studying, and once they started studying, they find it very inferior. They are not satisfied. So we get the question, the quotation by Paul Pellicer. Says it has no stamp of the poet, and it is a bombast and also sterility, and as it is considered to be. Using sterile and bombastic language considered to be the perfection of the classical poetry, they misunderstood. And then we found what is the focus. If you find something is duplicate, only appearance, as he said, appearances are deceptive, it's only appearance, explode it. That's what it is, explode it, stop it. Then what should you do? If it is good, you should feel, you should enjoy, you should appreciate. So this is the great benefit that you get. When you read lines like this, heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter, you appreciate. What a huge amount of meaning, what a huge semantic content you have in those lines. Huge means meaning. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. So you are waiting for the unheard melody. So classic, so beautiful, so timeless, so eternal. Whenever you read those lines and meditate upon those lines, you feel, you enjoy, you appreciate, you feel. And that is and very often we say, I bleed, Shelley's, I fall upon the thorns of life, I bleed. Or Hamlet, his request to his friend Horatio, already I have quoted this. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath to tell my story. Oh, what a fantastic, what a wonderful world is created. In this harsh world, that's the important thing. Draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Classic. You enjoy, you feel, you enjoy, you appreciate. That is the benefit that you get out of the study of poetry. Understand? So, then otherwise what will happen is, there is another fallacy connected with the historical fallacy. That is, some people study not the poetry, but the poet's labor, how many times he made his attempts, how many times he became, his weaknesses and his failure. See, people are trying to go in search of such kind of things. If you read the story of, if you know the story of James Joyce, you know, his novels, the earlier novels were rejected. Then he became, if you are going, what are the reasons for rejection and so on, that is not the point here. The point here is you study the portrait of the artist as a young man or Ulysses. Not how many times he failed, how many times he corrected it, how many times he edited it, who are the people who helped him. Those things are unimportant as far as the work of art is concerned. See that you are wasting your time. But the more we know about the classic, the better is our enjoyment. That is the work of art itself. Understand? So what have you to say? Great enjoyment. You stand, not only poetry, you stand and just watch 17.5 feet height, David's statue. One single piece of marble by Michelangelo. Just look at it. And you will stand there forever. You will become a monument like David himself. So that is, you feel, you enjoy, you appreciate. Sometimes you stand there, certain paintings, you know. You just simply stand and look at it. And then many thoughts come to your mind. 1,000 thoughts come to your mind. You don't go after unnecessary things. If you go after unnecessary things, it is like Andrew Marvell. You have to quote those 2 lines, opening lines to his koi mistress. But what does he say? Had we but well enough and time. See that? Had we but well enough and time, this coyness lady were not a crime. So there is no, we don't have well enough and time to go after these unnecessary things like this. It is, he compares this with the school boys in England. He was a schoolmaster, school inspector of school. See, the schooling in England, boys, school boys, what happens is that they are given background knowledge, strong footing in Greek and Latin language. For years they will be studying Greek and Latin. You know what is the reason? The reason is they should appreciate the classics. But what happens, you know, with the school boys? After some time they get tired. So what actually happens in their life is they will be satisfied with the lesser ones, the unimportant of this. Because if you go on learning language again and again and again for long periods of time, then where are the fruits? Sometimes I have seen, I remember we had a basketball coach in our college. So what his style of coaching is, he coaches the students for fitness. First year fitness, second year fitness, third year fitness. Then what happened? Not the dynamics of the game. So they failed. Only fitness. So there should be a limit for this. Exactly like that. If you suppose you want to enjoy the Greek tragedies, Euripides, Sophocles and so on, and you take a study of Greek language, and then you go on studying for 10 years, 15 years, still you haven't read the books, you have no time to appreciate. Finally what happens, you get tired of that, you will say, oh God, this will do, that will do. So little known and less good. That will be your target. That should not happen. There should be a limit for everything. You must have background knowledge, but that doesn't mean that all the time you have to spend on it. Like this. There are some critics who are concerned about the labor, the attempts, the failures of an author. What did his father do? What does his mother do? Isn't it? That is unimportant. How many times he failed in the exam in the school? Was he a dropout? What business we have to do? We have got to do such kind of things. So if you do that, it will be, you will have to had we, but well enough and time, then this coyness lady were not trying. That's the thing. But we don't have that much time. Okay. I hope you understand what I have been telling you. Today it is, what is the real estimate, what are the obstacles. Real estimate is, go after the best, study the best, the really excellent, and also you enjoy and you draw consolation from it. But the fallacies are two, historical and personal. Personal is easy, but historical is, sometimes it happens that at some time in the period in the life of a language or the history of the literature of that language, some persons may give a great contribution, then immediately you put all those titles on it. But this is not right, because you have to wait for some more time. See. Then you have got the historic fallacy, here is the poet, and both these fallacies you have to say T.S. Eliot. That is, honest criticism and sensible appreciation are directed not upon the poet but upon the poet. So that is the most important thing. Then he said that at times something speaks about French. The French, they studied there early, it was neglected literature, but when they read it and studied it, they found it is inferior. And we have got the supporting statement by Paul Pellisson. And he said, what should be our focus? If the best one you should appreciate. If you are in doubt, you remove it for some time, postpone it, to study. If it is duplicate, that means not really good or false, then explore it, and then you enjoy, feel, etc. So this is what is salutary, and this helps you to formation. This is the benefit that you get out of it. Some people spend a lot of time on labor, the labors of the author, the failings of the author, the shortcomings of the author, then how many times he attempted, etc. This is unimportant. Such background knowledge is not at all important. It is something like the schoolboys in England learning Greek and Latin for appreciating. Now, spending a lot of time, not learning is not anything bad, but a lot of time, spending too much time for background study, as the basketball coach I told you. First, you should also start playing. You should know the game, the techniques of the game, not just the fitness alone. So it's like that easy. So we'll continue with the historic fallacy tomorrow, because some more points have to be. You have to. We have to go through some more points here. The real estimate. Okay. Bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your.